Hello, hello, thank you, thank you. Welcome to another rendition of XGR, the X-Pound Gaming Radio. I am your host, Chris, aka The Mole, and joining me as usual is Rick the Hammer
Hello.
and Anastasia Laserbeam.
Pew pew!
And as per usual, we're going to go with the news first, then we're going to tell you what games we played this week, two each, and then we're going to finally go to the news topic this week, which the news topic this week is a look at video games for kids, the good stuff, the bad stuff. So, let's begin with the news. Take us away with your first bit of news, Pew Pew.
Alright. So, that's my cat. It jumped on my face.
Oh, okay. It sounded like just everything fell off a desk.
No. But Thief is getting a movie adaptation. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right? So, it says this project works at Vertigo and Prime Universe with Adrian Escaray and Roy Lee producing. So yeah, if you know them, it says this guy made the reboot of the Hitman movie. Oh no, yeah, he was working on that before. The Prime Universe was working on a Hitman reboot, and now they're doing this. So that's cool. And Vertigo worked with the Lego movie, so that was pretty cool. So it's some good people behind it.
Yep. Unlike Enchanted too.
Mo told me that Marcus Shadow is going to be happy about it.
I didn't say that.
No?
No?
I thought you did.
No?
Oh, okay.
I think I said that for something completely different.
Oh.
I didn't even know they was making a Thief news or movie until you mentioned it, which, yay, exclusive news for me. I mean, it's obviously elsewhere, but yay, we got news.
Oh, okay.
Thief is getting a movie. Woo!
Yeah, that'd be really cool. So, yay!
Oh, I think we all know the real theft there will be the cinema prices.
Yeah.
So that's my mini news.
Ah, cool. Over to Rick.
All right. For my mini news, a little bit of sad news, but Airtight Games, the developer.
Bad news.
Not usually. They were an independent developer that made Quantum Conundrum and something called Soul Fjord, and recently murdered Soul Suspect. And
Which is awesome.
yes, but unfortunately, their office in Redmond, Washington, is apparently vacated, and a sign outside says that the company is closing its doors. So that's kind of sucks for the people that work there. Hopefully, they were told ahead of time, and not. I forget which company did that, but or people just showed up and they're like, "Guess what, everybody?"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it kind of sucks.
That does kind of suck.
Yeah, that game did look pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Well, I don't know if you plan to ever get that, but like I said, that game's pretty damn cool. I tried to avoid giving spoilers because I figured everyone seemed interested in it. It was pretty damn cool. I would recommend it on PS4. I don't know. I mean, I don't see a problem getting it on PS3 either. Just I had the PS4, so I don't know. Like the PS3 could have different glitches or something.
All right.
If you think it's cool, watch Mole's video on the X-Pound or the Gaming Zone.
On his Twitch channel.
More taste of it.
You mean on Twitch?
Yeah, but doesn't it automatically go on YouTube to your
Nope.
Oh, because you can put it on there. You can make it.
You can, but for some reason when they used Twitch, it didn't actually link it up and it didn't actually export the videos over like it's meant to.
It did it with mine. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Gaming Zone on Twitch then. Check it out.
Yep. My small bit of news right now. Natural, and I hope I'm saying this right, Victor will be able to correct me. Doctrine.
Doctrine.
Okay. Natural Doctrine will be released on PS4, PS3, and PS Vita on September 16th in North America and September 19th in Europe. This is a strategy RPG game which has been described by the publisher NIS America as the first hardcore strategy game to hit the PS4. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world and gameplay-wise resembles titles like Final Fantasy Tactics, Advance Wars, and even, I hope I'm pronouncing this one correctly, Valkyrie Chronicles.
Okay.
The game also comes touting both cross-play and cross-save functionality and is set to be released both digitally and on disc.
Yay. Does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, I had that news in there just as a boat in case you didn't take it, because I know you like your tactical RPGs. Like I think you like Final Fantasy Tactics.
That game is amazing. Bad translation aside, that game is amazing.
It still won't have as bad a translation as All Your Base.
No, it's not quite that bad, but it definitely had its share of like
Let that
just they didn't give a crap. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of like, we don't care about that.
Fair enough. So on to the large news. Take us away, Pew Pew.
Mac Data Mega News. Alright, so this week BioWare introduces openly.
I'm gonna have to interject right here. I'm being told we're gonna have to leave Anastasia Laserbeam's news, but don't worry, it will be coming as DLC. Just $29.99. I'm kidding. I just wanted to do that once, where we could leave off one of our features for DLC.
BioWare introduces openly gay character in Dragon Age Inquisition video game. Basically, there's this character who looks like a human version of Sinestro, and he's a Tevinter mage, and he's supposed to be openly gay in this game. And another thing is since he's a mage, but he was banned from the place where mages are free. It's a very interesting concept for them. So yeah, that's really cool. And you know what? And I have to say that when I when I was looking through the character creation screens in both Dragon Age and Awakening, there is not a single character with an amazing mustache. You can't have just a mustache that's amazing. It's just blah. That's it. They don't have anything it's just one straight line. That's it. They have no stylish or mustaches at all. Not even ones they bothered to even put in for an effort. I'm sorry, but no mustaches at all. There's no fabulous mustaches. Not a single one. I was like, what?
Which means if any, TV show reviewers are listening with fabulous mustaches, clearly that's a turn on for Anastasia.
Oh, he doesn't have a fabulous mustache. He has a Hitler mustache.
Hi, Jim.
Fabulous.
But there's not a one. I thought okay, maybe there's got to be a little something or something. No, just straight line mustache. That's it. All they had.
I will say what I said to Anastasia beforehand. If that character looks great, I'm not gonna discredit that character. He looks great. However, I would also argue he's not the first openly gay character in BioWare, in the Dragon Age series.
They said fully gay, which makes me think what is that? Partially gay?
They mean not bisexual, because some choices when you could get with some of the people, they could also be love interests for male or female and stuff like that. But the reason I would say he's not the first fully gay, I know for a fact my female champion in Dragon Age 2 was indeed fully gay.
There you go.
I thought it was the first fully gay one in Inquisition. I guess I misread that.
Yeah, they're saying it's the first one in the series, and I'm like, okay. That is pretty cool. But that's also basically saying that is cool, but I wish they'd worded it better. This is the first character that's openly gay in every game, or something like that, just so they could say, hey, we're not discrediting all of you people who have made gay champions and gay Greylords, or Gaylords. And it's Grey Warden, but still I want to make a Gaylord joke. But no, which the openly gay stuff is cool. I'm glad they're actually including it. Equal opportunities and all that. Woo!
Yay.
And also props to all of us for not saying hi, Simon. And over to Richter.
I was just about to do it. No.
I was just about to go hi, Simon.
I wasn't really, but anyway. So there's a new project, I guess we'll call it, or game almost, on Indiegogo called Rock Simulator 2014. And yeah, it's just about how it sounds. They have a preview trailer for it. I believe it's on YouTube, and where it boasts it's all the fun simulation of being a rock, and it has really pretty just like scenery. And it has actually reached its goal of $500 already, and has exceeded that, and the grand total is now $971.
So Richter, can I sit there? Can I sit there and get moss on me and watch the entire world change around me? Like I can go from 0 BC to like the future, and I could just sit there and be a rock, and I can slowly watch myself erode.
Well, if I'm playing as a rock, can I go and ruin a perfectly good Doom film?
There was a perfectly good Doom film?
It could have been a perfectly good Doom film if they hadn't done what they did, including inserting the rock.
But yeah, I don't think it has super speed. So I assume yes, you could watch it erode, but it might be in real time, so you might be dead by the time it does anything. I don't know. They just showed the video where you just sit there and can look around a bit, and yeah, the perks that they have include basically mailing you rocks if you pay them enough. It's obviously a joke, but it's kind of funny actually.
I saw apparently it started, like you said, as a joke or a parody, but they had mentioned that because of the money that's gone to and stuff, it may actually get a proper release despite being a parody. Stuff like Goat Simulator. But you know what I was thinking of that, don't you, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
I understand calling it Rock Simulator, but part of me was thinking, isn't this basically Pet Rock the game?
Pretty much. I like that it has a year after it, implying that maybe we'll get one next year too.
With a different shape of rock.
Yeah. Like it's supposed to be a free-to-play game, so none of the perks actually give you the game because everyone can get it. That's why you get rocks mailed to you.
I want to make sure all the rocks look the same, so they all look exactly like the rock in the game.
That would be amazing to pull off.
They've got them and just chiseled them with a hammer and chisels so they make the shape.
But they got all these simulators now. You got Goat Simulator, Rock Simulator, and I saw a cat simulator where literally all you do is just take your own little paws and you can knock stuff off of the shelves left and right, and you try to get combos and stuff.
That game looks awesome.
To be fair, wouldn't Cat Simulator basically beat Nintendogs when they added pet cats?
No, but literally all you do is just jump around a room and knock stuff off of other things. And if you break more expensive stuff, you get points. You can break an NES, you can break a TV, you can break a PS3.
So it's proof that cats need to die.
They were breaking some really expensive shit, and you get bonus or whatever, and it's actually pretty fun and addicting because it's a very simple game because you just knock all the stuff up in the time limit, and you try to get all the same colors, or try to get all just NES games, or try to get all of something and you get bonuses and stuff, and that was actually pretty fun.
You know what I want as a simulator, don't you, Rick?
What?
Homeless Man Simulator. Where you have to try and look as sympathetic as possible to get change. And you also have to make sure you pitch your tent in a safe location so you don't get murdered in the night. Make it happen. No. But now, finally, my big news. Gran Turismo 7 is in development. The title is unlikely to release any time before 2015. And that's according to the man behind the series, who told, and I believe he spoke to Eurogamer, that work on the next installment in the franchise has already begun. He said, "We are working on the title. I don't think it will make this year. I don't think it'll be a prologue either. I doubt that we'll be throwing away the standard cards. Each car has its own fan, So I think we'll be hanging on to the archive. In the meanwhile, some of those cars we may be able to make into premium cars as they become available. But basically, we're more focused on increasing the number of premium cars. And there's no news yet on which platform it's going to go on, but money's on probably PS4.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gran Turismo 7. Woo!
Woo!
Fair enough.
It's a racing game.
Very good.
I like it's not going to be a prologue.
Yeah, I love that. It's not going to be a prologue because I hate the Gran Turismo prologues. They ruin what, in my opinion, the prologues are just the most money-grabbing thing ever.
Yeah. Hi, Metal Gear Solid 5.
But so now it's time for the catch-up. These are the 2 games we've each played this week, and we've all played different games. So first of all, taking us away with the games they've played this week for catch-up will be the stay-at-home dad gamer himself, Rick the Hammer. Check out his stuff on stayatHomeDad.com.
Hey. So, first game played this week was Shovel Knight on the Wii U. And that game is pretty freaking cool. It's old retro-style platformer. Has, lots of inspirations from Mega Man, Mario, Castlevania, that kind of thing. And but it's like a very unique game, or a very it doesn't like copy them. It just has elements like that. The map looks like Mario Brothers 3, where there's like the points and you can move around. It looks like that, and they have the sub weapons like Castlevania, where it's you activate it with up and attack, but they're very different from Castlevania. I mean, there's one that's like similar to one, but the rest are all pretty unique from each other, and it's actually a really cool game. Awesome retro graphics, awesome retro music. It's on Wii U and the 3DS. If you play on the Wii U, I recommend trying to use the Wii controller, like classic style, where you hold it like a NES controller, because that seemed to work a lot better, even though the D-pad's kind of tiny. But using the gamepad was actually kind of hard for me. I didn't like it.
What about the Pro controller?
The Pro, I have not tried that yet.
Get off your ass and get it. It's freaking amazing. Oh my god.
Well, I have one, but I didn't use it for that because I don't know. Because I don't want you don't want to use the sticks for that game. It's an old one, and the D-pad on the Pro controller is okay, but I like the D-pad on the Wii remote, even though it's
fine.
Tiny. No, I should try that. It might be better, but just the Wii controller works really well, except for sometimes it can be sometimes I mash up an attack when I'm trying to jump around and hit because the thing is so tiny and my thumb is not. So, but if anyone's played old Mario or Castlevania or any of that stuff, I would recommend at least trying it. That game's pretty cool.
I also love the fact you said it's really tiny and my thumb is not. It's really tiny and my hands are not, which implies you have an overly large thumb.
It's swollen.
It's swollen from constantly trying to do the fucking Hadouken on the Xbox D-pad, because that was hard as fuck.
Yeah. The game isn't. I should also mention it gets fairly difficult, although it has a fairly decent curve, and I didn't know that when they had the Kickstarter for it. Apparently, Mole put in a lot of money because there's a Mole Knight. So I'm assuming that you paid for the tier that gets the character you want in the game.
I did not. I just have on good authority the developers of the game are a fan of me.
Oh, okay.
Which who could blame them? I mean, they're breathing.
Yeah.
Arrogance. But no, that game does sound pretty cool. I'd probably check that out. And
the other one?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Why are we doing them both then together?
Yeah, we can do both together.
Okay. And then the second one, did not know if Mole was also going to talk about this, but was Transformers: Rise of the Dark Spark.
I was definitely going to talk about that.
Okay.
I will join in.
Okay, fine. The escalation mode is fucking awesome.
Yes, I love that mode.
There's 40 characters. I like that you can overwrite their ability, so it's like, oh, this character has, the shield, or this one summons the heal drone. It's like, well, you don't have to do that. You can pick who you want, and then if you have the ability unlocked, you can just assign it to them, which is really awesome. So the only things you can't really change are their vehicle weapons or their vehicle mode, which is fine.
Like my Starscream with Riot Cannon and Optimus Shield, so he's basically got Megatron and Optimus stuff together.
And on a plane.
Yeah, I'm a plane.
Yeah,
I
game.
don't know how it works.
But yeah, that escalation mode is really fun. Although I really wish they had an ammo recharge station. Because there's a health one, and yeah, there's an ammo beacon, but there's also a health drone, and there's a health station, and that's really the problem I had was I would just run out of ammo because it seems like enemies just don't want to drop it after like wave 2. They're like, screw it.
Yep.
Even if you have the hack on that's supposed to drop more ammo, they're like, nah, fuck that.
I completely agree. My other little complaint with escalation mode is I wish it was, because I know they're balanced with how many people on both teams, but I wish it was more balanced between the Autobots and the Decepticons, because you've got Cybertron Optimus, Bayformers Optimus, G1 Optimus, Cybertron Bumblebee, and Bayformers Bumblebee. On the Decepticon side, everyone only has one version. Whereas, like, I don't know, G1 Megatron, like in the first Transformers movie game, where his vehicle mode was just him with his arm out so he could fly, or something like that. Because where are these other versions of some of them? Because that'd be cool. Even if you just included, I don't know, Bayformers Starscream or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should have, but I'm imagining they didn't because I think the only Bayformer levels involve Drift, Optimus, Bumblebee, and Lockdown. So I think they didn't bother like taking any of the assets from, like, let's say the previous movie game, which actually had the Bayformers people. It's like they didn't even use those ones. They're like, nah, screw it.
Yeah.
Which it would have been, even though there's 40 characters, I would love it if they put in more because it's really fun to just switch around and use the different people.
Yes, it's also cool that you can actually be multiple versions of the same character at the same time. Like, for example, I could be G1 Optimus, Richter could be G1 Optimus in the same game, so people don't have to whine and bitch of, oh, I didn't get my favorite character. Like some people would and be like, no, it screwed me. It's like, no, it didn't screw you. Just pick a different character.
Yeah.
You have to admit, that is something gamers throw out too often if it screwed me.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you screwed? You were inconvenienced, not screwed.
If you got screwed more, you wouldn't be playing video games, so shut up.
Yeah.
It upset the entire balance because I couldn't use this character and I had to use one that has the exact same weapon loadout.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, you've seen me swap between them before. Like, let's say, like right now I'm using Decepticons, I'm using Starscream. Autobots, I'm using Bayformers Optimus. Now I've got him, woo, because he looks awesome with the blue and stuff. I do like that design. Not a fan of the films, but I do like that look. However, let's say I was playing as, I don't know, G1 Optimus, and I was playing with Richter, and Richter wanted to be G1 Optimus, and I put Richter as G1 Optimus. Oh wow, I'd just go Grimlock or fucking not Bayformers Optimus or Prime or basically Prime, the Cybertron Optimus and stuff. I'd just do that.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. But what did you think of the story from what the part you played?
The part I played, I think it's crap. It was not fun. It was unpolished. Just no. I got to I think chapter 4, and that was really farther than I should have played it. But the first level's short. That one was okay. Level 2 is when it really starts to get stupid. Although it's cool because you start a Soundwave. And like his special, it's like summon Laserbeak and Rumble, but it seems to only ever summon Laserbeak. Rumble's like only at one part. So
Yeah.
and like he doesn't even like fight or anything. He just runs into a little duct and like turns on a computer or something. And I'm like, Laserbeak at least shoots people. Like,
yeah, which I'll be honest with this. I like the story, which is cool. It's cool because you get two different sides.
Yeah.
I loved playing as Drift in the beginning with the swords, which one cutting through people. It looked great. I will say, overall, with the story, it wasn't a great story. It did kind of suck until like about halfway through when everything started to make more sense. Then it became good, and there was also little parts in there which were great, like the Insecticon. You got one of your alternate challenges you could do, which I loved doing, was to go invisible, walk up to I think it was Ironhide, place the explosive on him, and kill him in one hit because it blows him the fuck up. And it's a stealth kill. I'm like, I don't like that. But the only unfortunate thing is you got this stealth mechanic in there, but then you never actually included a load of like stealth elements of which you would have to use to play as him. Whereas like playing as Cliff Jumper, you have to keep platforming up. You kind of have to. They didn't do that with the stealth and stuff, which would have worked. But overall, it's pretty cool, and there is a cool some people would say cock tease, but there is a cool little tease at the end, which I kind of wish they'd expanded upon. I can say it because you can always look it up online, and not many people are going to buy it. But do you mind a spoiler for the ending?
No.
Of the story mode?
No.
Basically, the way the story mode works, the Dark Spark goes from Cybertron times with Megatron fighting Optimus. Then when those two fight with a beam, it knocks it the fuck out into space and time, into an alternate universe. And that's how the Bayformers got it. Then when you finally stop lockdown and you get rid of the Dark Spark there, Optimus is like, "You're right, it is over. But I fear the Dark Spark's evil will be felt elsewhere." And then just near the credits or post credits, one of the two, it cut to a scene of G1 Optimus walking along the desert, right as something goes and flies overhead that looks like the Dark Spark, and you just see him look up and go, "I feared this day would never come." And that's when it ends, and I'm like, that's great. And I think people would have bought this game a lot more if you'd expanded upon that G1 section. I may not be a G1 fanboy like some people are, but that would be great. That would be awesome. I want a big Transformers game that has more universes. Like, where's the Beast Wars love? Where's the Armada love?
Were you sad that he didn't say, "This is our darkest hour," when he saw it land?
I want all three of him to say it.
At the same time.
Like Bayformers, when at the beginning, "This is our darkest hour." Then, when he cut to Cybertron, I wanted that version of Optimus Prime to go, "This is our darkest hour." But when it went overhead, G1 should have gone, "This is our darkest hour." That would have just been amazing.
Then it cuts to Optimal Optimus, and he's like, "That's just Prime." And like Rat Trap nudges him, and he's like, "Oh, and it's our darkest hour."
Yeah. That'd be great. But over to Pew Pew.
Alright. I played a bunch of games this week, but I'll just mention two of them.
Yeah, you learned to count.
What?
I said, yeah, you learned to count.
Well, shut up. No, so I played Assassin's Creed, and that is so freaking awesome. I have to do the story more. I get to the point where it's like, you can't do any of this. Do the story. Stop side questing. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. It always annoys me when the game says, like, literally gives me, like, pretty much a sign that says, stop side questing. No, really. Go this way.
A story-driven game caring about the story? What?
So, yeah, it's kind of funny sometimes where it's like, sail to this area. You haven't unlocked this area because you didn't do this story first. I'm like, ah.
Do you also realize what this means, Rick?
What?
Not only did she complain too much stealth in Dishonored, she's now complaining Assassin's Creed has too much story.
It doesn't have too much story. It's just I can't do all the side quests first. I like to do all the side quests and then like do the story.
She needs to play every Bethesda like RPG because those are side quests the game or side quest simulator, whichever you prefer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I did for Fallout 3. Oh my god, love it.
You know there was a main story in Fallout 3? I didn't know that for a
No,
while.
I did the main story too eventually. That's the last thing I did. I saved everybody and and did the thing. I don't want to spoil it, so that's why I'm not saying it. And people who haven't played it.
If anyone's listening, she will give her details below. We would highly recommend everyone here to save up money and basically get Pew Pew a World of Warcraft membership, because imagine how lost you'd get in a big MMO like that with all the side quests. I don't think we'd see you again. Now there's 2 reasons I'll chip in.
Well, I played World of Warcraft, at least like the 10-day download, and I did the side quest, and it shipped me off to some area where like it costs like money to get there, but like if you die, it costs money to get back. So it teleported me, like when you die, you come back to the station or whatever. The station that teleported me back when I died is an area with people with question mark levels and no money to get back. So there, I just pretty much spawned in the exact same area that I died in, and I just was in an under like an unending circle of spawn death, spawn death, spawn death. Like this wolf is like on question mark levels. I'm like, what the crap is this? And then I stopped.
That's what the Hearthstone is for.
What is the fuck is a Hearthstone?
It'll warp you back to like where you started, or you can set it, but since I'm pretty sure you didn't set it elsewhere, it would have sent you back closer to where you needed to be.
Yeah, this is like a 10-day trial. I don't know how to do anything. I'm just like side questing or whatever.
Gotcha.
It made me really upset. Like it didn't even tell me
the
how.
fact it was 10 days, that's why you didn't know.
Well, like question mark level animals now. Why do you need level animals that are question mark levels? I mean,
that just means they're like over 10 above your level or something.
Yeah, like Victor said, they're like 10 over your level or something, which they're question mark animals, because when you're higher, you will want to kill them to get more XP to become even higher.
Well, I can't because I'm dying all the time.
You don't get any experience debt in the early levels. Or maybe it'll like you.
Oh, not if you can't kill them because they kill you first. I mean, I got some experience, but not like enough to the point where I could beat them, because you don't get experience for dying. So.
Fair enough, but what's your other game?
Okay, my other game was Binding of Isaac. I did a stream of that, and then uploaded 2 videos to YouTube, and yeah, it was really really fun. It was I suck at it like a whole lot. Like I used to play it like every single day in college, and I did really good, but I did horrible. But I don't feel bad about dying like every 5 seconds for people, because the best thing about that game is each time it's a unique experience, unique levels, items, even the monsters. Once you beat it, which I did beat it once, it says, "Oh, you think you're good at the game? Okay, we'll put the last level enemies in the first level." Blah! Sometimes. So it's like it's a unique experience every time. So that was cool. And the very last time, I actually did beat like 3 or 4 levels. So at least like I kind of went out with a bang. It was super like fun and everything.
Fair enough. And over to me. My first one, as I mentioned, was Rise of the Darkspark. Check out my my Twitch account to see me playing that at some point. Also, my second game was Saturday Morning RPG.
Yay!
That game is great. It's on sale right now, I believe, on Steam for like £2 or $2.70 something. I think it's 74, 79 something.
I think it's $2.79. Yeah.
Yeah, which it's pretty damn good. It's short, but it's good. It's one of those. The gameplay is pretty cool, and they've even got something in there on the PC one where you can say controls, and it gives you an option between keyboard, or you can map the button, or it gives you the buttons for if you were playing with a 360 controller, so they would pop up, or a PS3 controller too. And I'm like, cool, that's kind of cool. But I was playing with the keyboard, but it's a case of the controls are pretty simple, and there's so many references because it's basically an RPG for fans of old cartoons. Like there's like fucking Transformer references. There's even a classmate in there called Willis, who when you meet him another time and he says something, you're like, what are you talking about, Willis? Which is brilliant. There's references to stuff like there's a shop. There's like a what you call it, travel agent called Tom's Cruise.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the Care Bears.
I had to go to a dam to stop the evil bad bots, which are Decepticons, from destroying it or harvesting the whatever the hell this game's version of Energon was, which was hilariously awesome. The dam is called the Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's just wonderful. Yeah, there's a share bear, which is basically a Care Bear, as Anastasia mentioned, where you absorb that and you can do the Care Bear stare to finish people off. There's a Walkman, where if you use the Walkman, you put on a hazmat suit and you use it to like hurt the enemies. If you kill them with it, a DeLorean goes boom and runs them over.
Nice.
I know. There's just loads of little references and stuff throughout. Like there's just shit ton. Like there's the two rocks in the game that talk. One's called The Rock and says one day he'll be famous. Another one is a rock called Chris that says he wants to be a comedian. And I was like, oh, there's a kid called Arnold who's like, get to the chopper. And he's like, I'm sorry, my mother says, what was it? It was something along the lines of, my mother says if I keep using this voice, I'll never be famous, but I'll show her. And I'm like, wow, that's brilliant. There's even a joke where at one point, like a side mission, you have to go to, oh, what the hell was he called from McDonald's over there? I don't remember him from over here. He might have come over here. The mayor with the cheeseburger head.
Oh, Mayor McCheese, I think.
Yeah, he's the mayor of the city. And you go to him, and he asks you to bust ghosts. And you go to bust a ghost, and there's the Ghost of Christmas Past, because this is in a Christmas episode. The last one's a Christmas episode. The Ghost of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Future, and the third, and the other one is an actual present that's haunted, and it's the ghost of a Christmas present. I'm like, oh, it's such a bad pun, but I love it. There's even there's loads of little side quests and stuff too that would keep some people amused, like Pew Pew. Like one of the side quests was I had to beat up these bullies who stole this girl's pet Mogwai. After I stole it, I had a choice. I could give it her back, or I could be a dick, which I was, and I dunked it in the water, then handed it her back. She thinks the bullies did it to her, and as a result, when I went back there were suddenly monsters near her because her Mogwai just changed into him. Clearly, it was the bully, and I'm like, that's awesome. There's even there's a bounty hunter you take missions from called Bobby Jet or Bobby Jet. He looks like Boba Fett. There's fucking there's just so much shit and references and that. It's just wonderful. Like there's a group that looks pretty much like G.I. Joe.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the blind and deaf ninja can't hear or see anyone when he's in the scene. He's like, who said that? What? Who? What? And they mentioned, yeah, we only keep him round for something like, what was it? We only keep him round for something like affirmative action or something.
Wow.
But when you go to do the missions, they send you off on the missions, on one of the missions, and you go and kill all the stuff, and everything you do in the game, they take credit for. Randomly, they're like, yeah, we did that. When you speak to another one who's on his own, he's like, yeah, I used to be like you, fighting crime and being all actiony. Now I follow him around. It's pretty boring, actually. And I'm like, that's just wonderful. Like, you like Megatron, and you remember G1 and stuff, don't you, Rick?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Optimus is in school, and he's teaching the kids don't do drugs. The Decepticons appear, and he's like, see, kids, this is why you shouldn't do drugs. He has an Energon problem. And Megatron's like, I'm not addicted to Energon. I can quit whenever I want. It just helps me relax. Yeah, and then he's like, I'm gonna go off and get this. I'm gonna go to the dam and convert all their power to Energon. Not because I need it, but because I just like it. Okay, let it go. And I'm like, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, there's just tons of crap just in there as references and stuff. I just love it. Everything you find and do, it's like, that's great. It's like the first level. You in the tutorial, you find the wizard who helps you out. And when he first appears, he's wearing something on his hand that looks just like the Power Glove.
Oh, snap.
How great's that?
Nice.
I also love the fact they also lampshade every Saturday morning cartoon right at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because the game starts off with you going, okay, I'm going to stop you, evil hood, because he's trying to marry his girlfriend. He's like, I'm going to stop you. And the reason I'm going to stop you right here, right now, is because evil never wins. Or the good guys always win. And then you fight them, and you have no moves, and they're all god-modded to the point where they deliberately kill you. Then when they kill you, you're on the floor on your knees and like, bad guys never win. Go home, nerd. And walk off. And I'm like, that's wonderful. And that's how you have to learn. It's like, there was also a computer in there, Rick, that just, it annoyed the crap out of me, that bit. Only because, not because it was frustrating, but because afterwards I was like, oh, for God's sake. You know what I mean? It was more like an annoyance of why. There was a computer I had to go and, I was told to go in a cave and fight. I go and fight him. When I attack the computer, it does very little damage, and every attack I did upped his strength, his health, and his powers. It was impossible to kill him. And then I find out, when I go out the cave, I'm like, whoa, fine, I give up with this, but I'll just leave this side quest. The little robot outside the cave mentions to me, sometimes the best way to win is to not play. And I'm like, wait, what? I go back in there, I go to the computer, and he's like, do you want a game? Instead of attacking, I didn't press a single button and just stood there. Because I was not playing, he started to self-destruct and all his health started to drain.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd highly recommend that game. Saturday Morning RPG, available now on Steam, and it's so cheap. Everyone should pick that up. But now I think it's time for our discussion.
Yep.
And our discussion is kids' games in general. Our thoughts, our feelings, what we want to see improved and stuff. So I'm going to take it away with a little bit of the beginning, because I know we've discussed this in the past, and the good thing about video games is the nature of the industry is constantly changing, so we can always reuse topics. Yay. I mean, why not? If they can recycle Call of Duty every year, we can recycle our topics every couple of months.
Oh, come on, enough is enough.
Yeah. But basically, a game's coming out soon, which has me excited, which is The Legend of Korra. And it's using they've officially confirmed it's using the Bayonetta engine, and they've just added some magic to it to make this Avatar game based on a kid's cartoon, which it's a cartoon, and I say kids cartoon, I mean a cartoon in general. It's enjoyed by kids and adults. But the thing that impresses me the most about this is the Bayonetta engine, using it, and maybe, okay, obviously going to water it down a bit for kids, but if the kids keep getting games like that, that's great gateways to games like Bayonetta and, like, I don't know, Dark Souls and Dynasty Warriors and shit later on. So I am 100% for it, and I don't think people need to look at them and go, oh, why is this game so easy? Yeah, it's a kid's game. They should look at it and say, okay, I understand it's going to be easier than a normal game because it's a kid's game, but there should be some challenge in there to make kids improve as gamers.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's not Bayonetta on hard level difficult, because that was some horse crap.
I'm sure Marcus Shadow could beat it, but then again, he's better with video games.
You're right.
I'm right.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, when I'm right, I'm right. He's like the kid from that movie from years back. Do you remember the old cartoon series? Do you remember the Nintendo cartoon where it was like a kid that was the chosen one for all video games?
Kevin, Captain N, the Game Master?
Yes.
Yes, that is Marcus Shadow.
It's official. But no.
He hung out with Vane Simon Belmont smoking a pack-a-day Mega Man.
Yeah.
Fought racist Mother Brain. Yep, that was Marcus. That was his life story. Spoiler.
Wait, does Mega Man actually smoke?
No, but if you've ever seen the old cartoon, he's got this weird voice. He's like, that's mega-rific. And you're like, whoa, what is that voice? And everything was mega something. He's like, I mega like that idea. And you're like, no one would say that. You don't have dialogue in your game, and they made up like the worst possible thing they could.
To be fair, I mega disagree with that. I'm constantly using that.
You should.
Yeah, that should be my new thing.
Yeah, that should. Welcome to another Mega XGR.
But no, but like there are kids games out there as well, which I will give props to, like the Lego games and the Skylanders and the first Disney Infinity and stuff like that, where they're really easy games, but they're fun. They're just fun, and I don't see a problem with that either. The ones I have a problem with is kids games like, apparently Mega Force on the DS is so broken, and not even the game's main features work.
Oh.
I think it's one of the only games, if not the only game, that Nintendo site that loves Nintendo exclusive games, NintendoLife.com, I think, gave it 1 star.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Shots
and I'm
fired?
like, that shouldn't... What was that?
I said shots fired.
Yeah. I'm like, that shouldn't be the... And I was agreeing with them, because it looks like, from everything I've seen, it looks like a bad game. I mean, I'm not going to question it. We're not here to question whether or not they were honest. I think they were, maybe too honest for some people. But, I don't like the fact you get a kids game like that, and it's designed almost like, like adult games where it used to be, even though it's changed a bit in recent years, but it used to be any game that's based on a film or something coming out sucked balls. Unfortunately, that's what the majority of kids games are. They're basically like TV tie-ins and shit with no effort. That's why I applaud like Bayonetta for doing that, which I'm like, yeah, that totally fucking works.
And I love like the Lego games, even though they're for kids and stuff, and kids will like them too, because they're just really good made games. Like, it's like you have to make a really good game before you make a really good kids game. Pretty much is what it's, which I think it's about, you know. Like, you don't have like necessarily kids in mind before you make it. Just make a really good game, and then you can make it kind of styled towards kids.
Yeah, it's like the reason the Lego games work, for example, is, in my opinion, the Lego games are basically, and Richter would be able to say whether or not he agrees or not, but the Lego games, the way they're designed with and how you go about the stuff in there, it's basically Diablo for kids. And that's why it's great. Yeah. Like, it's the same type of, it's similar, it's not necessarily the same type of view, but it's the same type of game of going in there, you smash everything to get points, you destroy everyone if it's in your way, it's just grinding waves of enemies and stuff, and it works. I like that.
Except I always have to remind my son, he's like, I don't know what to do here. I'm like, did you punch everything? He's like, no. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that box over there isn't punched. He's like, oh, well, I didn't punch that one. I'm like, well, then punch that one. And
suddenly, Solid Snake screams out, "Ow!"
As much as I don't like the Lego games as much as I used to. Although I love that my advice is always, "Did you punch everything?" Because usually that's whenever he's like, "I can't get past this part." That's what I usually start with: is, "Did you punch everything?"
Yep, that's always been Richter's motto. It's probably why he was fired from anger management.
It was. I was fired from that daycare.
Yeah. His advice as a teacher. So, I couldn't do this. Did you try punching everything?
My mom won't let me play with this toy. Well, did you try punching her? God, do I have to solve all your problems for you?
Yeah.
I can't train this dog very well. Did you try punching it?
My baby won't stop crying. Did you try punching it?
Or Stacy being like, Jim won't sleep with me. Did you try punching him?
I tried to do that to make him go away.
Sure. She's going to make him go by punching him. Wink, wink.
But, no, like I said, I'm a big fan of the Lego series and stuff, because I think it's just wonderful. And I love the fact that the reason I say first Disney Infinity is I love what they're doing with the second Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
They mentioned the difficulty on the second one is higher because the kids are used to the game and they're older. So as each one comes out, they're harder with a little bit more in mind for older people, which means it's essentially teaching kids okay, when you get a game, the next one should be harder, or at least on par with the original. Now, I'm not expecting to go from, say, Lego Batman to Dark Souls difficulty overnight, or at all, really. But you could go from, say, like the Lego series with how easy they are. The next one should be a little harder, or at least a little bit more advances and stuff in there. Because some series, not going to try and point fingers, but some game series don't really advance much, or they don't try to age with their gamers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I think is actually something really good if they pull that off well, because a lot of games don't do that enough. Or like especially like Pokemon, but I'll name a name. But yeah, I think that's actually really good that they're like, oh, they're fans of these games and they're going to grow up, so we got to put a little bit something extra to still appeal them. And I don't think enough companies do that, so I hope they actually pull that off very well in Disney Infinity 2.
Well, speaking of Pokemon, I don't like the fact now it's meant to have a lot more of a story, and I'm like, no, it's not supposed to have a story. The story is your mother's a neglectful bitch that sends you around the world with your little pet rabbit or lizard or turtle or whatever the fuck you pick up. Go kill shit.
Yeah, I know. She won't even go to help you pick it up. She's like, just go to that old strange guy's house. He'll give you a monster.
In the black and white one, like literally in the black and white one, she's like, oh, you have to leave the house now and go on an adventure. By the way, I have this love letter to the professor. He's going to come by later. Hope you don't mind if we use your room. And I'm like, what? What the happened? What? No, whoa, just stop. No. No, I'm not delivering your love letter. No, I'm not. You can't kick me out of the house. She like literally says, goodbye now, go away. I have company. Like,
the professor's coming over. He's going to blow into my cartridge.
Pretty much. That's what they do in the black and white one. Just like, get the hell out of my house now.
He's going to jiggle my puff. No.
Never mind.
Yeah, that's a good one innuendo. But I will say he has some huge Pokeballs now.
But I think for kids games, they kind of need, maybe not in the same game, but I think that they need a good mix of ones that are like really fun and just completely open, stuff like Minecraft, or even in some ways stuff like Little Big Planet and like the Little Big Planet karting and stuff. Is my son will just play around with like the level editor. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's just doing stuff, and I think that's good to have, huh?
You should totally get him Mod Nation Races.
He has the demo for that. He played that a lot.
Get him Project Spark. There you go.
Wow. But then they also need some that are like goal driven, because like I said, I think he almost
can't let you see.
Because I think he almost plays too much Minecraft. So like when he comes to stuff like Mario Brothers or Super Mario Brothers and like Lego, sometimes he's just like, I'm not sure what to do, and I'm like, well, you gotta like do things. You know, you can't just run around in circles. But also, they think they really. I think in a lot of ways for kids games, like yes, they have to be good, but they also have to be kind of simple. Not like, you know, that they're just dumb, but I think a kid needs to be able to understand all the stuff that's in it, because then you can make it hard. If you think about old like NES games, like Super Mario Brothers, there is some depth to it, but to grab the basics, it's pretty quick. It's pretty easy. So when you keep dying, you can actually see how you can go forward because you know what to do. And yeah, there's lots of little like warp zones and stuff that when you figure out, you're like, whoa, blows your mind. But you can grasp the basics of it, and it's a game where you can keep playing even though you fail repeatedly at that game. I mean, let's be honest here. Anyone that played Super Mario Brothers, you died a lot of times.
Nah, I got the speed run record.
Yeah. Didn't they just beat that recently?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. You just keep beating your own time. It's been a couple years. I need to be back in the headlines for Mario Brothers.
Yep. And beforehand, it's like what I do beforehand just to make sure I'm ready. I start like just getting someone to film me playing like a console and shit, and then I just do like a montage with it with some sort of 80s music over the top to make sure I've improved.
Yes. I want that to be a thing. And I just picture you with like the like sweatband around your head and like the towel around the back of your neck, and you're sitting there playing, and there's like Crispy's there, and he like holds up you like motion, and he holds up the water bottle, you drink it, or he hands you a cup of water, you like throw it in your face and like toss the cup aside while you're sitting there playing.
Yeah. That'd be great. No, yeah, you died a lot in Mario, and I understood exactly what you were on about.
Yeah.
Which, it's like I've mentioned before now, like a great example of this would be if anyone here has played DuckTales Remastered. Like I mentioned in the past, in that game, it tells you to look for secret areas and rooms.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing in the original one, because kids knew to try and do that. We need
Yeah.
to go back to that a bit more. I mean, I don't see a game like, say, I don't know, Amazing Spider-Man. I could totally see that game, or a Spider-Man game. I could totally see that working as a kids game if the kids had got used to that a bit more. And I'm not even saying that's a difficult game. I'm just saying that's not as easy or as broken as some of the games they're used to.
Yeah.
Like literally, Power Rangers Samurai on the Wii was running around the same 6 environments with no effort put in, with the same little clips playing every now and again, and killing the same exact enemies, but you didn't even have to kill them. You could just run through the entire area and get out.
Yeah, some are just too like brain dead. They're just like whatever.
Yeah. To me, a Power Rangers game should play either A, like a fighting game, if you want to do a fighting game, like the old one on the Mega Drive played similar to Street Fighter, or it should play like Streets of Rage or Double Dragon.
Yeah.
I was kind of imagining Godzilla with robot fights.
Although I will say, that is something while we're talking about kids.
Why can't we have a good Godzilla game? Sorry.
I enjoyed some of the ones on GameCube where you got to destroy the stuff, but
yeah, we're okay.
But that was mainly just because I enjoyed destroying shit.
You should get the cat simulator.
They weren't. Yeah, they weren't great games, I will admit. I just enjoyed destroying shit. But it's like that's a market I think they should start tapping into, which they haven't yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've done some, but not too many. They should start doing more, and normally it's because something else is coming out. Because we're talking about kids, how about kids games for adults? Let's start making some of them. Like, take, say, the Double Dragon Neo engine and how that looks. Take that game and let's make it MMPR for adult fans now. Or let's take something like Dynasty Warriors and let's make it Thundercats, the video game. The reason we're doing this is not because there's a new Thundercat movie coming out, or because, oh, now look, there's a new Power Ranger series, let's make a Power Ranger game based on that. No, we're trying to make a good game based on the original properties for the fans of that, which have now since grown up. I think that'd be great.
That would be awesome. They need to do that. I kind of wish that they would have more games that were, just because they wanted to make it, not like, oh, we got to tie this into something.
Yeah, like, for example, there's a Kickstarter thing right now. Hopefully it's still going. There was one where someone's made a decent-looking He-Man game.
Oh, really?
Cool.
But like people said, due to copyright, that's probably not going to see the light of day. Whereas if I was the people who had the rights to that, I'd say, you know what, that's a good idea. Let's go to a video game company. Hey, help them make this.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But I'm not expecting full disc releases either, because this nostalgic area could be sort of more of a niche than something. But how about a load of PSN games like that? Like, I'd totally buy, like, say, like I mentioned, Double Dragon Neon, which I already bought, but I'd totally buy that again if it was Power Rangers or Spider-Man or Batman or something like that. But even though Spider-Man and Batman are bad examples, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although you could base it on the Adam West Batman, and since, fuck it, that's coming out on home video release this November, by the way.
Yay.
I figure people will be happy with that.
I liked that one, even though it was cheesy.
I have the power!
Yep. Like I mentioned, it's for me personally, the Batman, the original series, it goes against so much stuff, but I do admit it's enjoyable as fuck too, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, to me, that's sort of like the Bayformers. It goes against the original property, but who gives a shit because they made it popular? And it made it popular in a way that hasn't actually ruined the franchise either, like Bayformers hasn't either. Which is totally cool. And yeah, like, how about a full G1 like, I don't know, tactical RPG released on PSN.
That would be pretty amazing.
That'd be Richter's shut up and take my money.
Yeah. Although, admittedly, if I got other people to play it, which I think they would, I would almost or I would want like just almost a standalone escalation game for like Transformers, because I really like those modes. And the other would just have it like if that was like a $20 game for just the escalation mode, and it had like 50 characters and like 10 maps, that'd be pretty cool.
Are there female Transformers?
There are.
Do they have boobs?
Yes. They're called the Boobacons.
Yeah. They have vague, boob shapes on their chest to almost pretty much boobs on them. Yes, why?
I'm just asking because, like, I would imagine that hard to hide and make it, like, not on the nose, too obvious.
Mm.
It's the airbags. They do have Transformers like RC and stuff. I like her, especially in Prime. She's awesome. But yeah, I'd love, like you said, the escalation mode. I'd make an escalation mode of Transformers based on all the different eras that they're doing. I would do it sort of like some of the PSN games that are coming out now on PlayStation 4 and stuff. I would make it a free-to-play game where you got the first map and one character. Then you can buy other character packs, or just do it like you said, a standalone version of escalation mode and keep adding DLC, keep supporting that shit. That'd be great.
Yeah. Just if it was like download only and it was like $20, or free to play and you just buy the characters you want or packs or whatever, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go too free to play, like some of the ones on PSN, i.e. all of the ones on PSN, are pretty shit on free to play. I don't like them.
Yeah, as long as not every pack has a Bumblebee in it or something. Like, I don't want Bumblebee. Why don't you understand this?
Yeah.
I'm not 8. I don't like him anymore. I don't think I actually ever liked him, to be fair.
For shame.
I know.
Does your son like Bumblebee?
I don't think so. They like, my kids recognize him, but I don't think they like him.
Yeah, I didn't really like Bumblebee as a kid. The only Bumblebee I've liked has been animated Bumblebee. But no, like I said, with the kids games in general, there's loads of features as well that could be in the game, but they just tend to leave off. If it was for quote adults, you'd be like, how the fuck did you leave this out? That's a bog standard thing. Like, apparently it's in the next Lego game, but why the fuck didn't the Lego games have online by now?
Yeah.
I mean, they have now with the next Batman games meant to have online, but why wasn't Lego Marvel online?
Yeah.
It's such a ridiculously large roster of characters. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yep. And I also don't like the fact with kids games as well. Like I said, it's just that general thing of, like I've been just saying, they seem to put no effort in. They're like, fuck it, I'll just buy it for the licenses. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's like when I was a kid, we had games like the DuckTales one. We had stuff like the MMPR fighting game, and we had kids games that were done like that more than they were like they are now.
Yeah, it was like they made a game and just they expected kids to play it rather than targeting them, and therefore like trying to, just not put effort. They're like, oh, a kid won't care. Like,
yeah.
I mean, kids a lot of times didn't care back in the day, but they still at least it felt like they tried to make a real game out of it and not like a kid version of a game.
Yeah, it's like, how awesome was the Taz platformers on Mega Drive?
I played the Super Nintendo one where it was almost like Road Rash, where it was like you ran forward and you had to eat kiwis and dodge stuff. I don't know if you played one like that.
I didn't play one like that. The ones I played on the Mega Drive were like, side-scrolling platformers where you got to spin and kill enemies, and they had Taz, and they had Taz on Mars or something. It's like,
I played the one where you eat kiwis.
Were you like running to like into the screen, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was.
Yeah. It's like, for example, all of those games they made, for example, the Cars games, or the ones THQ made, which were pretty shit. Why the fuck didn't Disney say, look, we made Split Second. We have a car engine. Let's just make that for cars. Or I don't know. Hey, you over there, EA. Yeah, you make your Citroen. You make like Need for Speed and stuff, right? Yeah. Here you go. Make cars. So it doesn't have to be as challenging as Need for Speed or Gran Turismo, but it should be enjoyable to race.
Yeah.
Even if it was just as good to race as Mario Kart, which that's pretty fun, but it should be. You know what I mean? I just don't like those broken things, like the Avatar games. They were pretty shit. The new one looks like it's going to be good. That's got high hopes from me.
Yeah. Well, at least because Platinum games, even though they tend to skew them on the hard side, they make like real games for people that play games. So I think that that's actually hopefully will be really good for the franchise, because I could actually just see them making a real game that would be awesome regardless of the license. So it seems like that, yes, fans will buy it, but I think that even people that don't necessarily, care much about it might actually play that game and then get into it because will hopefully be a good game.
Yep. I'm hoping it's a really good game. It's set in between seasons 2 and 3, I believe, but it's they're putting so much effort. They sound like they're putting effort into it, and I'm like, yes. Why is that not more of a case? Like, like a load of games are quite. It's like, why?
Yeah, why is them sounding like they're putting effort into it sound special?
Yeah, it's like, for example, the Smurfs. The first Smurfs movie game was pretty shit. It was like a dancing game. It's like, why? They did one on PS3 called Smurfs 2. Woo, I think I platinumed that game, by the way. But that was pretty fun. It was a platformer. They had different abilities. It was sort of akin to a mixture of something like Mega Man and Mario-ish, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe a little bit more simpler. But it wasn't so simple and shit that you were like, this is bad. They actually made a pretty enjoyable game. I mean, it was more enjoyable than most kids' games. And I was like, I like that game. Hence why I platinumed it. I kept going through and I kept playing as all the different characters and doing all the shit I could do. It was fun. But I'll tell you, like a kids' game I did enjoy. I don't know if any of you here played it. Did any of you here play the kids' game Scooby-Doo First Fright?
Yes.
I did, no.
It was Scooby-Doo's answer to the Lego games, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
However, as much as that was fun, how come we haven't had a Scooby-Doo game yet using something like the Murdered Soul Suspect engine, watered down a bit more for kids? Or the Heavy Rain engine? Because Scooby-Doo is more about the detective than it is about destroying chairs.
Yeah.
Because they hate money.
By a little bit more, I mean completely more.
They just hate money.
Yeah. It's
as long as they have some Assassin's Creed elements, so like you can run away if you're Shaggy. You can run away and like hide in stuff like pots.
Yeah.
Trying to escape the quote unquote monster.
Yeah, that'd be great. And like I said, Scooby-Doo just lends itself perfectly to that. Like a game that I felt they kind of actually did right in kids genre-ish, but this was so years afterwards. It wasn't really for kids. You could tell it was more for adults who liked the older games. Tom and Jerry on PS2.
I have not played that.
It's basically Spy v Spy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that works. That's perfect for Tom and Jerry. Like, you set traps for the other one to fall into it. Brilliant. But it's like, why do we get games like that? Why do we get games like, for example, Scooby-Doo First Fright, where, okay, I'll admit that one was actually pretty good. I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but it didn't feel true to what the property was either.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love a detective Scooby-Doo game. Like, a kid's game I thought was done really well in recent years, and I'm not a fan of this series either, before people think I'm just being fanboyish. I really fucking hate this series. Harry Potter, the Book of Spells on PlayStation Move. Because as both Anastasia and Richter can attest to, I do not like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
However, they've really done a good job with how they did the book, how it was teaching the kids to read a bit more, what they were interacting with. That felt great. It didn't even feel broken. Which I loved that. I was like, that's great. Like, even someone like me who's not a Harry Potter fan was sitting here screaming out stuff like, what was it, like Aquamentum or something that made like the screen splash water, and it was like, yes, I like that. Which, if you've got a move and a camera and a kid, I highly recommend that. But
well, it sounds like a new show. Move the camera and a kid.
I'm looking at Richter, but still, because I don't know if Richter's got move.
Yeah, somewhere. I don't think I've ever used it. It might not work. I have no idea.
Rick's got moves. They were back in the 70s. Disco Rick.
Disco Rick doesn't advertise.
And why am I imagining Disco Rick with a big fucking afro and high platform shoes?
That's what I was imagining.
And a gold chain with like the original NES controller on it.
There you go.
That would be pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah. But no, like I said, the kids' games overall, in general, I think our consensus is they need to be better. Just to wrap this up, they need to be better. Stop making it crap.
That's that. Make it better. Don't make it crap.
Yep. We're asking for kids' games to have more of a quality than they do. We don't want a kids' version of Duke Nukem Forever.
Nobody does.
Or a kids' version of Aliens, Colonel Marines. And why do I keep calling it Anal Colonel Marines?
I don't know. They should actually make that for
Anal Marines?
Yes, he did. They should make that for like juvenile detention hall or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, you were bad. You now have to play Duke Nukem Forever.
That's what needs to be a thing. You know, if you're caught illegally downloading games, you should be sent to a prison camp where you have to play Duke Nukem Forever, Alien Colonel Marines, and games like that endlessly until you've found every single glitch and bug within that game.
Yes.
And when you found them all, you should help the developers patch it. Everyone wins. But no, I was your host, Chris, aka The Mole, joined by the Sad Gamer and Pew Pew.
Hi.
Hi.
And